Hi, my love, and welcome back to Aligned. I hope that episode number 1 was as impactful for you as it has been for me in my business time and time again. And before we dive into the second training, I want to remind you, you have to be your own best damn client in order to take aligned action and in order to embody your future self. And in order to be your own best damn client, you have to embody the practices that you're teaching. We're continuing the conversation around embodiment in this training and how it's going to serve you in taking those aligned actions. So let's dive in. First off, I'm so grateful that you're here. So thank you. I truly cannot wait to see how you and your business evolve as you become this woman who takes aligned actions. Let's talk about business standards. Okay, so we could take this conversation in a million different directions, right? Just from things that we do in our business, the boundaries that we set with our clients in Voxer, in our emails, or on team calls, or all these different things, right? All of that is very, very valid, and we can definitely be having conversations like that. And I want to talk about some business standards that are really important when we're talking about the idea of embodiment and ultimately that theme of being your own best client, because this requires you. It requires you to take radical responsibility and to look at the things that you're currently offering and ask yourself, am I the embodiment of what I teach, of what I believe and what I offer? And so look at that from this lens of curiosity and neutrality. And because this isn't a place for shame, because that's not going to get us anywhere, right? But a place of radical responsibility, okay? That's your most powerful place, is radical responsibility. I have a few standards every single day as a multi-six-figure CEO. So it's not me as a woman, okay? I want to make those two distinctions, right? It's like a character that I play, me as a CEO. And so me as this CEO, I have a few standards, and one of those every day is service. Okay, so a daily standard for me is service, and service first of myself. So yes, I just said CEO, and yes, I said service of myself. So one of my standards every day is, how am I ensuring that I'm aligning the things that I do with my unique energetic codes, right? So for example, how am I honoring my cycle? How am I honoring my goals and staying in target with what I'm saying I'm going to do? And also, how am I honoring my flow and my cycle? And how am I honoring the boundaries that I set for myself, like for instance in Voxer with my clients? Or how am I personally serving myself? That's first. And then it's service of my people. So every single day, I essentially have a box, if you will, that I check to ensure that I served somebody today. Sometimes that's behind the scenes in Voxer. Sometimes it's through coaching calls. Sometimes it's through content. Sometimes it's through an email that I send out. Sometimes it's on Instagram, or maybe I got on my stories and I educated in some way. But every single day, I like to make sure that I am of service to my people and to myself. And the next thing I like to do every single day, and this one is so important, and I think it gets missed a lot. And the reason why we're talking about this is because pure embodiment of the business that you dream of is going to require you to be the CEO that sells every single day. Now, I think the word selling has gotten a bad rep, but ultimately what you're doing when you're selling is you're showing up to sell this business that you've poured your heart and your life and your soul into, and it deserves to be sold. So are you out there selling every single day? Now, again, this doesn't have to look a certain way. This can be behind the scenes to somebody who is already working with you, who maybe wants to upgrade, or this could be selling in your emails, or maybe in a podcast episode if you have a podcast. It could be in your Instagram stories. It could be passively through your reels. Personally, I like to show up and sell at least one way every single day. Now, to me, selling is akin to sending an invitation, because if I'm calling somebody into my world in any sort of capacity, I'm going to be selling them into something, right? Either I'm selling them into my email list, or I'm selling them into an offer where they're going to get more value, right? So selling it's the same as actually selling the offer, as teasing it, as you create it, the behind the scenes of serving your clients, the social proof from the testimonials that you put out there, and talking about your offer. I want to give this little bonus tip. When you're showing up on socials or anywhere to sell, when you're talking about your offers, don't talk to your phone as if you're talking to 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 people, or like you're talking to a big audience, because on social media, it's not an audience. I want you to imagine it as if you're speaking to one person, okay? Like speaking into the soul and marketing to this one person. And this will change the game and your experience of being able to sell on socials so much. So speak to this one person, because anytime somebody picks up their phone and they're watching stories, they choose to be there. And so they want to feel like you're speaking to them directly, okay? Like you're telling a story to them. So it's serve, sell, and then number 3 is embody. I want you to embody every single day what you're selling. Okay, so we have serve, then sell, and then number 3 is embody. So I want you to embody every single day what you're selling, okay? So that's a business standard of mine. Okay, so what does it look like when I embody my current offers right now? Well, I think about what are the things right now that I'm selling that I want to teach. Okay, so for me, I have this new mastermind that's coming up later this year, and it's a big deal, right? It's this big ticket, massive expansion, high-level mastermind, okay? And I'm literally, the work that I'm doing behind the scenes is my embodiment of what I'm going to teach in there. Okay, the whole container is built around this concept of growing your online business and confidently building an iconic personal brand and earning a full-time income from your social media. So I am embodying that every day in my life, because I know that my ability to attract the clients that I want to serve is my ability to literally be the walking, talking embodiment of what I offer. And finally, document, 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 document. And what I mean by this is, are you taking the time to, not only does this pertain to showing up on social media and showing off who you are and allowing people to really get to know you, I find, and let me know if you feel this way at all, but I find that the people on social media who I look up to and love watching their content, it's not actually because they have incredibly valuable content that teaches me a lot, but it resonates with me, right? And I feel connected to them, and that makes me curious about them and feel like I know them on some level, right? Like I feel like I've gotten to know them, and like I know these little intimate details about them because they documented that and they showed that. So remember to document daily. And I also mean in the sense of documenting for yourself, journaling, taking little notes. I love using the notes app on my phone and just making little notes of what's feeling really good right now, or what I just thought of, or what am I experiencing right now and what's serving me? Because you being in alignment and feeling good is the best thing you can do for your success, because you, my friend, are the code. You are the code to being the greatest CEO.